Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, Loving Keto, in another segment of Keto Cooking with Ron. Well, today we're going to be making a chicken crust pizza. And who doesn't love pizza? Oh boy, pizza has been absolutely one of my favorite foods over the years. But they do pack a lot of carbs and a lot of calories no matter where you get your pizza from. And so we decided to make our own chicken crust pizza today. Now, we did make this pizza before in the past, but we didn't film out this particular recipe. So what you'll need for this recipe is a pound of chicken meat, and if you don't have chicken, you can get canned chicken. And if you don't have a specific, like I get the ground chicken, and I'll show you the picture and the photograph and the video when we start filming this. But you'll need a pound of chicken, ground chicken, or canned chicken, or if you don't have either or, and you have a couple of pieces of chicken breast, you can slice them up and process it through your food processor. And then to combine it, we'll use 1 egg, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of mozzarella cheese, and for ingredients, we're going to put the Italian seasoning, and we're going to be putting in the garlic powder. And then once we form the pizza into a pizza pie, we'll bake it off in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes. Pop it out. It should be nice and golden brown by that time. And when we pop it out, when it cools down a little bit, I'll show you what the bottom of it looks like when it's all completed. And then I'll add the pizza sauce and the toppings. So for today's choice of toppings, I'm going to be adding onions, peppers, and some black olives, and of course the mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, and the pizza sauce. Now the pizza sauce, I got a little bit of leftover sauce that I used from the last time I made a pizza. And we're going to be using the Ramos pizza sauce, and the reason why I love that particular sauce is because it's got a really good flavor, and the sauce has very low in the macros. I think it's like about 40 calories per tablespoon or something like that, or maybe a half a cup, but I'll put the macros on the timeline and for the back of the sauce jar. But it's very good sauce. It's very, very good for keto, and you know, if you're doing carnivores and you're not eating any plant-based, you could make a pesto pizza, and maybe at some point down the road I'll make one of those, but they're very, very easy to make. Now, this particular recipe comes from a woman called, I don't even actually know what her name is, but her YouTube channel is Keto Focus. She's got a lot of great recipes on there for keto, and I've been following her for quite a while now, mostly just for the recipe part of it. But she's given me this idea and inspired me to create this recipe. So if you just follow along with what I'm doing, you should be fine. So you're ready to make a pizza? Let's get right to it and we'll make a pizza. So at this point, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to point the camera down to the bowl and show you how I somewhat all together and mix everything all together. And hopefully you have a good pizza like I'm having today. But today is a Friday, and what better way than making a pizza today? And so let's get right to it. Oh yeah, by the way, remember, sharing is caring, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like and share and subscribe to that button up there. You know the drill, and it helps other people know when I post videos like this one, and it also helps YouTube to know that I'm putting out good content that you really enjoy. So let's go ahead and make the pizza and enjoy it, and maybe I'll talk a little bit over the video with a little bit of Italian music to feel like you're in Italy, but I'm not Italian, I'm French. But I enjoy Italian food, and I enjoy all foods. But being on a low-carb weight loss journey now, I'm making everything healthy, and a lot of times I'm making everything from scratch now because you get better quality foods, and you know what you're putting into your mouth, and you're being responsible for your health. And nobody can be responsible for your health but you. So anyways, let's get right to it. Remember, caring and sharing. For this, to make the chicken crust pizza, we're going to need a mixing bowl. For our ingredients, we're going to need some ground chicken. This is ground chicken breast from Purdue. I happened to bought this brand because it was on sale that particular week. You're going to need 1 egg to bind. So the salt we're going to be using is a pink Himalayan sea salt and a little bit of ground pepper. 1 egg to bind. Remember, I'm a simple guy. The simple is better. Italian seasoning by McCormick's. We use about a teaspoon, and then we're going to be using a little bit of garlic powder, about a teaspoon of that. And this is all to taste, okay? Mozzarella cheese from Market Basket. Any brand is fine, but this is the shredded, as you can see. And then we're going to be using Parmesan cheese. Now her recipe calls for grated Parmesan cheese, but I ended up getting this because that's all I could find. And I didn't feel like looking through a pile of cheeses when this is right in front of me. And I've used this before for this recipe, so you should be fine if that's all you get. But if you could get the grated kind already grated, then that's even probably better. Now at this point, you should already have your oven preheated to 400 degrees. Let me show them. I got my notes. You should be heating at 450 degrees. So you just take your chicken and put it in a big bowl like that. No big deal. So we're gonna add Italian seasoning in. It doesn't make any difference what order you put all this in because it's all gonna get mixed in anyways. And again, there's no right or wrong answer what you put in over here for spices. It's entirely up to you. I have a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon that I use a lot. Just dump it in. And I'm usually kind of just a dump and go guy. That's what I do. And I don't make anything too spicy. I don't like spicy foods because they raise a lot of havoc with my stomach, with my acid reflux. So I got to be very, very careful with spices. So that's why you don't see me use a lot of spices. So that was the garlic powder we just put in and the Italian seasoning for flavoring. And then we're going to put in a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Probably about a half a teaspoon. Just eyeballing it a little bit. Again, just like I'm doing. This is all to taste. And this will get all mixed in it anyhow. And I typically, if I wasn't doing a recipe, like following a recipe to the letter, I would be just kind of like dump and go, dump and go, dump and go. So we're gonna add our egg. 1 egg, just like that. Doesn't matter if it broke. Now it's time to add the cheese. And according to the recipe, she said to add the YouTuber on the ingredients. I got everything added in so far, but the cheeses, the eggs in. She said use a half a cup of mozzarella cheese. And again, if you want more, put more. If you want less, put less. I wait, then I started putting some up, and I noticed I started getting more followers. That's a half a cup, by the way. You know, it might be 1 or 2 a little bit over, but it's fine. I'm not even sure how many grams that is until it actually weigh it up. And this is, as you can see, 1/4 of a cup of, I bought these plastic containers. I got them off of Amazon. I got a whole set of them for about 10 bucks. I love Amazon. I ordered a egg poacher the other day. It came in. I didn't have too much success making the poached eggs there, but I'm going to have to practice with it a few times to get it right for the cooking times. Okay, so we got about a cup of Parmesan cheese. And that just goes right in. And seal the bag up. Just keep mixing it up until it feels wet because it is wet, and it's like I said, but you know it's not that bad. When I did the canned chicken meat, the overall chicken I separated and took the water out of the can the best I could, and then I took the canned chicken meat and I spread it out on parchment paper and I dried it out in the oven for about 20 minutes. But this recipe is different. This one here, you just mix all the ingredients like this. And that last one, I believe we used gluten-free pork rinds for our breadcrumbs mixture. And this doesn't call for pork rinds. This calls for this type of recipe. And again, I got this recipe from Keto Focus, and I'll leave her a link below the video. But that's pretty good. Now we have that all mixed in, we're going to start forming our pizza. So all you do is you just take it and you dump it on the sheeting pan, just like that. And then try to get it in the center a little bit. And as far as the thickness of the pizza goes, that entirely depends on you. Usually about a 1/4 of an inch thick. So what I'm doing is, if you just follow what I'm doing, you'll be fine. Let me move that out of the way. Let's see if I can get that more centered into the camera. So you guys know what I'm doing. And I try to keep it as round as I can, by the way. Just kind of like that. And now we're going to just take the other piece of parchment paper, put it over the top. Again, you can make it as thick or as thin as you want. And if you feel more comfortable using a rolling pin, you can use a rolling pin or a flat pan or something like that to smooth it out even further. But when it comes to making a pizza, I found that there's no right and no wrong answer here to making a pizza. It's entirely up to you guys. The reason why you got that black over there, that's just the pepper. That should be fine. I mean, this seems like a little bit of a lot of work, but not really. You know, you get a really good tasting pizza out of this, and I did make this recipe twice before. What I'm doing is I'm just flattening it out a little bit more because I want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. Just kind of like that. Then when we're all done with this, we'll wash our hands really good. We're gonna go pop this in the oven at 450 for 15 minutes. It's just about where I want it. And if you have any like holes in the pizza or whatever, just take a little bit of a little bit of your chicken meat from one of the sides and just kind of like fill it in. And so I'm just kind of like follow along what I'm doing. You'll be fine. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. My wife she'll probably have a little bit of this, you know, and she does like this pizza, by the way. My wife doesn't do keto, but she does eat some foods that I make on keto, and she does like some of them. So you should end up with something like this. If you got a nice round pizza pie thing, that works out even better. And I did go down to our favorite store to pick up some of this stuff up down at Ocean State Job Lot, some of those pizza pie tins, but they didn't have any. The store the day that I went to go buy any. I ended up buying a lot of low pans, but not the one that I was looking for. So the next time I'm down there, if they happen to have any, I'll pick up some more low pans, because you can pick them up pretty cheap over there. Last time I was there, I picked up a half a dozen of these pizza pie pans for about $1 each. And I really like going over there because they got a lot of great deals. And so this is what you want to end up with, something like this. Don't pay no attention to that. That's just from the pepper. And it's all going to cook in, and hopefully we'll get a nice good pizza out of this, and we know we are. So anyways, let's go in the kitchen and cook that, and talk to you later when this is all completed out of the oven, and I'll show you how we assemble the pizza sauce on there and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm wiping off my hands, and then I'm gonna go wash them off real good so I don't get all this junk all over my camera. Okay, so it's been just about 15 minutes, and our pizza crust pizza is complete out of the oven there. It's got a little bit of brown going on over here, the sides. It smells really, you can smell the garlic in the pizza. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put the toppings on, and then we're gonna put it back in, and be careful, your pan will be hot, so make sure you get pot holders, which I have. And yeah, so put that on the cutting board, and I'll show you how I'm gonna top it off with my toppings. And then I'll put it back in the oven for another 10 or 15 minutes and let it cool, and then we'll have a slice out of it too. My wife she'll probably have a little bit out of this. But you can see over here in the other edge over here how nice and brown it is. And so we're gonna be using, for our choice of sauces, Ramos pizza sauce, homemade pizza. You can see for the macros, it's very, very good for macros. It's got 40 calories, and there's the rest of the ingredients, just if you can see that. And typically what I'll do is I'll just take a spoon, and it all depends on how saucy you like it. No, I just put a little bit on and just spread it out. Maybe 2 or 3 good heaping spoonfuls. Just spread out the pizza sauce. Spread it out. Maybe a couple more. And this is very, very good for you, by the way. There's very low carbs on this. So you can pretty much eat 2 or 3 of these whole pizzas like this and not feel too guilty about it. That's just the tomato from the. I think I put about a half a dozen little scoops around my pizza. It's pretty good right about there. Because I don't want to go all the way around to the outer edge, because I want it to be nice and golden brown around the edge. So we're all done with the spoon. So now it's time to actually put the cheese and the toppings on the pizza. So we're going to put a little bit of mozzarella cheese and Parmesan. Just like this. There's no right or wrong answers to how much. It all depends on how cheesy you want it. Remember, our filling for the chicken has cheese on there already, so if you're not concerned about your calories and your carbs, you can measure out what you want to put in if you want to be that specific. Now we're going to put a little bit of Parm. Again, on the Parmesan cheese here, the original YouTuber said to use grated. Well, I didn't have grated, so I used the this kind, because it's pretty close to being grated. Just like this. Spread it out. Don't get on top of that pizza sauce. So we're done with the Parmesan cheese. We're going to put just a little more mozzarella on top. And then we're going to go bake that back in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes there until everything's all nice and melted on top. Just add a little more mozzarella. If I had to guess how much mozzarella cheese I use for the total pizza, it's probably about maybe 4 cups. And I'm going to put some black olives. Now we bought these pearl black olives. They're little plastic cups, and they're already pre-sliced, which is really I like about them, because I don't have to deal with slicing them all up. So I'm just probably going to use up the rest of the olives and just spread them out a little bit. I mean, olives are really great for keto, food friendly. And I got a little bit of chopped onions. I'm going to use up the rest of these from a bag I got. Again, this is just a store-bought brand, all chopped onions. It's just to use up the rest of the bag. And we got some peppers we're going to be putting on for our choice of toppings. Again, the store-bought brand. I buy these for under $1 because it's a lot easier to, I don't have to deal with slicing everything all up and chopping it. I mean, if you want fresh, be my guest, but I do everything easy and simple. So this is the pizza that we're getting ready to put into the oven. We'll put this back into the pizza. Cheese is nice and bubbly and ready to take out of the oven. And we'll bring it back up here and slice it and let you know how it tastes. But like I said, I've made this plenty of times before. So hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll come back and give it a taste test when it's completed and when it's done, when I pull it out of the oven. Okay, well, our pizza just came out of the oven, and I had a little issue with the pan for some reason why it warped. So I probably had the stove up too high, but I didn't according to the cooking directions. But the pizza is complete. It's kind of greasy on the bottom there because of the chicken, and it's tiny chicken, but I'm sure it'll be good to have. But I'm gonna cut it up and have a slice of it and see what happens. The cheese is all nice and melted, as you can see. We'll cut it in different ways. It's cutting really easy. Yeah, we'll just cut it one more time this way, one more slice. Okay, so we're back in the back room again. We just made the pizza, came out of the oven. We put it in the oven for about 15 minutes to melt the cheese. The pan warped a little bit. I should have put it on maybe 400, cut it down, either that or put it in a broiler. But I just melted the cheese down a little bit. Just want to show you what the crust looks like. It's greasy on the bottom, only because it's got a lot of water content to it, and we're going to give it the taste test in a second here. I'm just wiping my hands because I want to grab a photograph of it while you got the slice in my hands. Well, guys, now we're going to have a pizza taste test to see how it tastes. It's very tasty. I can taste the chicken. And I can taste all the ingredients as I put on, and it's very flavorful. I'd definitely make this again, but what I would probably do next time I make this, I probably would add some breadcrumbs to it, so it'll be a little, or some almond flour mixed in with the chicken meat, so it won't be so moist. Because I'll show you on the back side of it. As you can see, I got it flipped upside down, and it's staying on. Remember, that's the black for the pepper. I would have liked it a little more browner on the bottom, but the texture of it, it's just like pizza dough, and it's a little moist on the bottom because of the cheese probably, and but that's what I trace the toppings with: peppers, onions, and black olives. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and if you try it, please let me know what you think, and remember, you guys are amazing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, caring is sharing. And we're going to go finish this pizza. Probably have 1 or 2 more. And I got enough pizza for tomorrow or Sunday if I want a little snack late at nighttime. But I would definitely make this again. But like I said, the next time I make it, what I probably would do is probably add a little breadcrumbs to it to dry up some of the moisture that was in with that particular kind of chicken meat. But other than that, it's really good. Don't forget, sharing is caring.